Yahoo! Whoop! 3, a 2, a 1. Okay. Wait. This is done with me. Okay. Okay, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hello. Can you hear me? How's it going? Woohoo! Noor! Noor das! Das! How's it going, everyone? Has everybody been keeping safe? Staying at home? Those who can? Have you been wearing a mask? Can you hear the background music? I'm using the same as, you know, my typing stream. Oh, I need to update the description. But anyway. What's up, guys? お久しぶりです。皆さん、こんにちは。こんばんはのところですかね。皆さん元気にしてますか？ It's been a while since I streamed last, but that's because, you know, life stuff. I got a little busy, but it's okay. We're here now. I'm back with an advice stream. I received a ton of marshmallows with some insane questions, which I think a lot of us will relate to, and I'm gonna try my best to sort of address them. はい、今日はですね、あれですよ。アドバイゾのストリーム配信やります。なんかいろいろ、特にこういう大変な時ですね。ね、なんかいろいろ大変だと思います。大変何回言ってるんですかわかんないんですけど、なんか久しぶりに日本語喋ってるような気がします。久しぶりに日本語を喋ってないです。もう日本語忘れました。忘れてしまいました。日本語下手くそです。こんばんは。やっとリアルタイムで見れました。ようこそ大歓迎です。ありがとうございます。Hi, yes. So, yeah, what's been up, guys? Did you miss me? I'm so sick of this fake love. Fake love. I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but anyway. 英語ペラペラですよね。そうっすね。Yeah, okay. We miss your insanity. That's really sweet. I missed you guys too. I was wondering how y'all are doing. I've been trying to do some exercises for my arm pain because, you know, it's not yet gone away fully. So I've been trying to do like strengthening exercises, which also means they're still kind of sore, but you know, it's okay. I missed you guys. Do you, yeah, anyway. Hi. Hope this stream fixes my life. Yeah, a bit of a disclaimer. It's an advice stream, but you know, I'm not like a professional counselor or therapist or anything like that. And if I make any mistake or assumptions, please know it doesn't come from like a place of meanness. I'll also try and be very objective in whatever I say. And yeah, advice is very, very subjective. What works for someone might not work for someone else, so keep that in mind. Yeah. I missed you. Konur desu. Yeah. Exercise, do you mean playing Ring Fit Adventure? Hell no! It's just like basic stretches and like, what do you call it? Like movement, that sort of a thing. I don't like very heavy exercise. I hate exercise, in fact. I think existence is in itself is way too strenuous and exercise. On top of that, you want me to exercise more? Hell no. Fuck that. Yeah. So let's do this. How do you guys like my little frame thing that's going on? Yeah, I like it. It's kind of stylish. But yeah. Hello, I'm new to NIJISANJI, so please treat me well. I'm pleased to meet you. Yeah, please treat them well. Nice. Tell them it's nice to meet them too. Konuru, yes. Yeah. It's an advice stream, so obviously we're gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I'm sure some of you who have been here before already know what this means. Are you ready? Yeah. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh wow. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, this is not working. Hello? There you go. Yeah. I don't know why it's happening twice though. Hold on. Why is it doing it twice? What? Okay, what about now? Huh? Oh, it's not doing it twice. Oh well. I'm just a dumbass. I'm not a dumbass. I am a dumbass. I'm an extreme dumbass. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin with the first advice question. What is your cure for a bad hangover? Okay, we'll start off a little slow. ちょっと簡単なものから始めようか。For a bad hangover, first of all, you gotta drink a lot of water. Try and drink it with like electrolytes. So in India we get something called ORS, and in Japan they have like Pocari. So restore your water and electrolytes. For water and electrolytes is where you need to start. And then second, eat something soothing. I don't know if you get curd, but if you get curd or like yogurt, very little bit, don't eat too much. Have a banana. And caffeine works for some people and it doesn't work for others. It works for me, but it might not work for you. But water is your main thing. And get some sleep, lie down. And once you've been able to eat a little bit, you can take a painkiller if you want to. Like take like an ibuprofen or something like that. If you can, if you're allowed to. I know some people cannot take like certain medicines if they're already on other medication, but yeah. Yeah guys, this is my real voice. What are you guys talking about? So yeah, that's my cure for a bad hangover. Also try to avoid like loud noises. Stay in, stay home. Just generally stay home. People in chat are saying drink more booze. That's terrible advice. It's like doubling your hangover. You'll have to drink to get over your hangover, but that drink will cause you another hangover, and it's just an eternity of hangovers. You see the problem here? It's the infinite hangover curse. So I think that's a terrible idea. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Onaka itai yo Noor. どうしたらいいの? まずはなんで痛いのか少し考えてみよう。変なものでも食べたのですか？飲みすぎなんじゃないですか？何？妊娠、生理、まあいろいろあるんですよ。ストレスとかね。まず原因わかんないと痛みを解決できない。大谷さんを、服用はいはい。次 Next Noor, wait, you can't really read it very well, can you? I've actually come to the realization that I live an extremely lonely life. What do I do to fix that? Okay, so my advice, before I get to the advice, first things first, I think somewhere in varying degrees and quantities, everybody is lonely somewhere. Sometimes you feel it more, and sometimes you feel it less. But because you are confined to your physical body and not one with the cosmos, you're sometimes going to feel lonely. Again, here it's important to get to the root of your loneliness. Why are you feeling lonely? What caused you to realize you're feeling lonely? First, is it because you're not close to the people who make you feel less lonely? Or is it you're surrounded by people who you don't have a deep relationship with is why you're lonely? Do you feel unloved? You have to figure out the reason first. Second, honestly, this year is bad for everybody who feels any amount of loneliness, because it's hard to actually go out and meet new people. And as some people in the chat rightly say, people can be scary, you know. How about we give up on, you know, that stuff? Are you allowed to get a pet or a plant to take care of, you know? If you're nurturing something, you're less likely to feel lonely. If you can, if you're able, get a pet or get a plant. Or you can pick up a hobby which requires you to actively like watch other people on the internet. For example, if you enjoy writing, join a writing club online and do projects. For example, I know the guys who do Welcome to Night Vale podcast. They do a thing where, you know, they have like podcasts where one half is like listening and the other half is like you sort of work on something yourself. You'll be able to find other people who have similar interests to yours. So yeah, find a community online. I'm looking at the comments. Somebody in chat also suggested VR chat. Yeah, if that's your thing, definitely try it out. You know, the world is big and scary, but the good part about that is it also means there's so many things you're yet to find. And something will help you. There will come a time when it will overrun its use. But then there's still 100 other things left to be discovered, so yeah. A lot of things in life are out of your control, but take control of the things that you can change. Yeah. This chat gave me more friends. I am so glad to hear that. I know it's difficult to take my advice seriously with this voice, but it's very serious talk, so I thought this will be, you know, a little fun for you guys. Yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you like it. Come on! Okay, we move on to the next one. This chat is a good place. Like the show, The Good Place? Yes. Anyway. Dear Noor, what is your advice on risk-taking in life? Is it better to pursue your ideal goal and risk losing a whole lot, or is it safer? Is it a safer option? And risk? Is it art? What? I can't English. Is it better to pursue your ideal goal and risk losing a whole lot, or to settle for a safer option and risk possibly being unhappy and regretful if you don't achieve your dream? So everybody doesn't necessarily have a dream or a passion. My dream is to retire early and live in the countryside with like 40 cats. Is that me being passionate? Probably not, but it's my idea of achieving my goals. So yeah. It's all right. If you do have a passion, that's rare, it's great. But chasing your passion is a luxury, and not everybody has that luxury. And having a passion itself is a luxury. So, but let me tell you something. A lot of things are born from taking risks, and you just don't know if it's going to be a good thing or not. In my opinion, stepping out of your house is a risk, but you gotta do it sometimes. Risk-taking in itself is not inherently bad, but a lot of times the consequences of the risk are either poor calculation on your part, or it's just, you know, circumstances. Like, a lot of things didn't turn out the way you imagined them to because of things outside of your control. Bottom line, you don't know what's gonna happen. How do you know something is a safer option? How do you know? For example, I took an you know, for example, you take a job which sounds safe, okay, but suddenly there's a lunatic who sets the office on, like, oh my god, that's too real, let's not go there. For example, you take a safer option and, you know, you're like, something goes wrong. It's not your fault. And nothing in life is safe to begin with, first of all. And people in Japan know this really well. They could be chilling in their house, suddenly there's an earthquake and like a book has fallen and you're like, what the heck? You know? If instead of a book it was a pan, you could end up with a concussion. They might have the safest job in the world, you don't know. Yeah, if you do have an ideal goal, I think you're very lucky. I'm almost jealous that you have a goal, because I don't have goals in life. You take risks regardless of what you do. Living itself is a risk. But you know what? Sometimes an option you think you didn't want might turn out to actually work for you. You never know. How are you sure that picking the safer option is guaranteed to make you unhappy? Maybe you pursue your ideal goal and you keep failing. You're still gonna be unhappy. Essentially, it's being unhappy doing something you want to do, or being unhappy doing something you don't want to do, you know. Even if you pursue your goal, there's no guarantee you're going to achieve it. And I know that's not a very optimistic thing to say. So my advice is, if you really want to take the risk, do it, but make sure, yeah, that you have a backup plan if possible, and B, try not to hurt the people who love and care about you. They're irreplaceable. But otherwise, yeah, basically make an educated call, man. Risks are inevitable. Just try and be as smart as you can about the steps you make, and try and make informed decisions. I don't think I don't think you have to complicate it every time, unless it's already complicated without you doing anything else. But don't do anything to make something complicated. Does that make sense? Yeah. And remember, my advice is my own advice. You can definitely decide to say, hey, I don't agree with you, I'm not going to take your advice. That's totally cool. That's totally cool too, okay? You do you, hon. You do you. Okay. Okay, let's go. Next one. Oh, okay. Wow, this is long. Hi, Noor Sensei. I'm a Japanese university student. I plan to go abroad on an internship half a year later, but I'm not used to speaking English yet. And thinking if I freak out speaking English, honestly, I'm nervous even now. Please help me out. Well, first off, the message that you wrote is pretty perfect. Second, remember, when it comes to language ability, even if you have perfect grammar and perfect vocabulary, a lot of times you're still not going to be able to say what you really mean to say. You can be good at a language and bad at communication. What matters is being understood. You could say that, you know, oh, the gray clouds thundered and the air got chillier, or you could just say, hey, it's cold and it's going to rain. It both means the same thing, right? Right? Yeah. So, and here's the thing, your language ability does not equal your intelligence. Okay? Remember that. Just because you're good at a language, it doesn't mean that you are intelligent. Okay? And second thing, if babies were scared and underconfident about walking, well, they're never gonna be able to walk unless they try, and they're gonna fall. They're gonna hurt themselves a little bit. But do you think they care that you're laughing at them? They don't give two shits. Don't give a shit. Anybody who makes fun of you, show them your electricity bill. Be like, hey man, pay my bills, and then you get to say anything about my language ability. Make them pay your bills. Who are they to say anything about you or your intelligence? I'm sorry, who asked your opinion? Just ask them. Can you speak Japanese perfectly? Go to any university and tell them, hey, speak Swedish to me fluently. They can't. It's fine if you make mistakes. And if somebody laughs, you send them to Noor. And I will whoop their ass. It's rubbish. I just hate it when people act like being good at a language is like some kind of achievement. You're a native speaker, you're going to be good at it. And I know native speakers of English who are really bad at the language, you know? It doesn't mean anything. What's important is whether you're able to communicate. And you know what we were saying about taking risks? And you know what? I think I talked about it on my last stream. In your brain, because you know brain chemicals are funny, the chemicals that your brain produces for nervousness is the same as the one for excitement. So just pretend you're excited and you will be fine. Sounds like a reward. Oh, you know what? Next time somebody tries to like laugh at your English, we should just learn Shakespearean English just for kicks and speak to them completely like in Shakespearean English. Shakespearean, whatever. And then be like, hey, you're so bad at English. And watch them like crumble from the inside. Art thou butthurt? That is thy terrible. Would thou like some avocado? And a frappuccino, you know what I mean? You know? Silly. Okay, wait, I'm gonna try another voice, okay? What? Do you like this voice? It's even more robotic, damn. Amazing. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we got another long ass one. I love it. I love long marshmallows. It's like I'm reading letters from you guys. Hi Noor. Hello. I'm an office worker and I think I have lost all the creativity I had while working over there. I used to write, draw, and even play the bass. Damn, that's so cool. Did you say drop the bass every time you dropped your bass? But since I have been working in an office, all my drive to do creative things is completely gone. It doesn't help that I work with ads and other corporate creative things. Is there a potion that can cure me of this curse? Well, the answer to that is, I don't think there's a potion. Unless you're talking about booze, but I am not the type to encourage boozing. Even though I myself booze a lot. Don't overdo that potion, but. So for ads and corporate stuff, I'm guessing you do like pitches and you do like, you know, end-to-end project kind of stuff, but it's all like client-based and stuff, and I can understand why that feels suffocating. But you know, I was reading this thing the other day, and it really resonated with me. It's kind of like, how do I put this? So for example, for me, since I don't have goals or passions in life, I have to try my best to enjoy the things that I do, to do them creatively. So for example, if I had to write it's just an example. If I have to write an assignment, maybe I challenge myself to write it in like this funny way, you know, where you write it like you're writing a novel or something. Or for example, you have to make a presentation and you make it in a way that's really funny, like you use like internet memes because you like memes. I think one of the things you can do is find a way to incorporate your creativity in your work, because unfortunately all of us have to work to live. Not many of us live to work. That's, again, living for passion. It's rare. A lot of the reality is you have to work to live, and unless you find a way to make it fun for yourself, it's just going to become hell. And I know that doesn't really answer your question, but once you're able to do that, you might feel motivated to go back to the other things that you enjoy. Also, if you really miss it that much, you're gonna have to take out time. You're gonna have to like squeeze out time to actually do these things. Oh, how about this? I don't know how your workspace is, but if your workspace is cool, if they're chill, you can say, you can say to them, hey, I feel like, employees need something fun to do at work to express themselves creatively. So why don't you have like an office band? I don't know, I'm just throwing ideas, but ultimately, hey, you're a creative person. You'll have to get creative with your problems as well then, is what I'm saying. Also, I think a lot of people have this kind of a thing, so I would recommend you sort of look at Reddit threads about it, or like, see what people do. You remember that video that kind of went viral a couple years ago? There's this workspace, and there's this, I think it's a workspace in China, where there's this girl, and this lady rather, and she has like a desk job, but she will like pull apart like computers and like other things in the office to like cook food, or hand make makeup using like things. I guess she really liked making stuff, and she just decided to do it at work. It sort of blew up. Yeah. And here's another thing you could do is, for example, writing. I don't know what kind of writing this is, but if it's like writing fiction or non-fiction, if you have a commute, try and utilize that commute time. If you're taking a dump, use that time to write. But if you're just generally lacking motivation, which is, like you said, your drive to do creative things is completely gone. I get that. That's really hard. But maybe you need a weekend where you sort of reminisce. I find thinking back, not just thinking, like look at some of the older stuff you've written, or like revisit some, like if you were in a band or if you made like music back then, go back and listen to that. Look at your old drawings. You might find that spark once again. But you know what? This has happened to me. I had a hobby and I did it like mad for like many years, and then I just completely stopped because I didn't find it fun anymore. You know? And it's okay. That time of life when I was doing that hobby was fun. But I decided it's just not for me anymore. And now I've moved on to other things. That's okay too. I think one important thing to remember is that creativity, as well as motivation, as well as energy, these are all limited in quantity. Every day you're given, it's like a tank. Every day you're given, you know, a tank, and it just depletes. And refueling is really difficult. But you're the only one who can do it. And I don't think I was very helpful in this. I'm so sorry. But when I feel like I'm really drowning and I need to find my creativity again, I'll go back to some things that I had already created, or I'll go back to like my favorite creations by other people, like my favorite music or my favorite books or whatever, and be like, damn, this is good, I want to do this. And it's a process. It's not going to immediately come back to you. It might take some time for you to find these things again, but everything is a habit. You have to work and it'll come back, I think. Yeah. What do you guys think? Was that helpful? Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Everybody, yeah, okay, that's the one we're gonna go with. Wow, it's a long one. It's a really long one. Okay. We shall address it though. Hi, hello. Hi, and hello. So I've been composing music for quite some time now, and I've just decided to finally try and publish my works professionally a few months back. Time has passed. I have scrapped countless projects because I can't seem to produce anything that I'm satisfied with, and I really feel like giving up as it's getting really hard for me to even pick up my guitar. Should I keep trying or should I just abandon everything? I'm just full of doubts about accomplishing anything right now. Sorry for the rather long post. Thank you for doing what you do. You're cool. Cheers from somewhere. Hey, you're very cool too, first of all. And I totally get this. And before I reply, I'm gonna have some water. Hydrate yourself, guys. Do you guys like this audio? Okay. Here's the thing. There are three types of people when it comes to evaluating yourself and your ability. One are the people who think that everything they touch is gold, regardless of whether it's true or not. Second, maybe there are people who just don't care. They're not self-aware. They don't want to be self-aware, which is really up to them, honestly. Third are the extremely self-critical people and think everything they do is shit, regardless of whether it's true or not. Something like music is very subjective. What is crap to you might be a source of inspiration to someone else. Don't take that away from them. Always put things out there. You're gonna be your worst critic. Doubt is always gonna be a part. But I think regret outweighs doubt in the long run. So whether you doubt yourself or not, you should just keep putting it out. And especially for people who are perfectionists, if you are a perfectionist, you're never going to be satisfied with what you make. then what's gonna happen? You're just not gonna put stuff out. You're not gonna try, and even it becomes like a wall that you cannot climb over. And I think that is a huge disservice to your talent and your ability. And you know, you're robbing the world of your talent. You know? When you put it out there, there's gonna be people who love it, there's gonna be people who hate it. You're gonna love your music one day and hate it the next day. It's just, there's no escaping it. But again, regret is worse than doubt. It's okay to put it out there and be like, rather than regret never having done something that you're so passionate about. If you need a break, that's okay. You can take a break, come back to it later. That's fine. If right now you don't feel like picking up your guitar, that's okay. Forget about music for a week. And when you come back to your music, when you come back to songs that you love, you're gonna be like, how did I go a week without this, you know? Let that happen to you. That's one option. The other option is huge middle finger to your self-doubt and just be like, I'm gonna put it out, whatever. Because without doing that, you're not even gonna be able to objectively look at where you need to improve. That I think is more important than, you know, anything else. Also, here's the problem with being satisfied with what you made. You might get, you know, complacent, and that's not good either. So it works both ways. All of that, honestly, these are things that constantly happen. Doubt, regret, feeling you're not good enough. It's a fundamental part of being a creative person. Acknowledge that for what it is, accept it, but put shit out anyway, I would say. Also, maybe you should think about why specifically you're not satisfied. What is it? Is it technique? Is it quality? Or are you comparing yourself to someone or something else? You gotta identify what it is and see if you're objectively going to be able to fix that, or see if that's even valid. For example, I have a friend who's a writer, and she loves writing and everything, and there was this chapter she was working on, and she just got really frustrated with it, and she hated it, and she was venting to me about it, and you know, she just, like, didn't want to write anymore. But, you know, she told me that she finally sat and she realized that what she wanted to accomplish with that particular part, she felt she was wasting time doing it in the way she had already written it, and she needed a different approach to writing that specific thing that she wanted to write. I know I'm being very vague right now, but of course. Yeah. And here's the thing about comparing yourself to others. It's extremely unfair to yourself if it makes you feel shit about yourself. Another person's talent, their experience, their background, their history with the particular art form is their business. You can look up to someone, you can get inspiration, but nobody can tell the story that you're trying to say, you know? You're unique, and you should capitalize on that and express something that is entirely 100% you in your artwork. So, that's what I think. You know, when you say abandon your self-doubt, it's really easier said than done. It's always gonna be at the back of your head. Honestly, even the most accomplished, you know, actors or musicians or whatever out there, they battle with self-doubt all the time. But they still do stuff. It doesn't stop them. And it shouldn't stop you either. Walk hand in hand with your self-doubt. And don't let it become a wall in front of you. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I don't know if that was helpful. Is my chat stuck? I don't know. One second. Oh my god. Okay. Let's go to the next one. How do I make time in my life to learn Japanese while having a full-time job and also spending time with other hobbies? Well, first, give me a second. First of all, are you sure you really want to? You have to look at your priorities, and if something is important enough, you have to figure out making time for it. Second thing is, hack into your daily routine and see if you're able to incorporate learning Japanese into it. For example, do you cook your own meals? Put on a podcast that teaches Japanese. Let it play in the background. You know? That sort of a thing. If you're spending time watching brainless stuff, maybe replace it trying to learn. You could even decide, oh, I'm going to spend at least, 30 minutes every day. Make a study plan. I'm not a planning kind of person. Plans never work for me. If it works for you, you can try it. But, you know. Can you hear me? Anyway. Am I understandable? Can you understand me? Am I audible? Yeah. What I did, well, I learned a lot of my Japanese in bursts. So I'll have a time of like intense motivation to do X thing, and I will spend like a week or 2 weeks or a month doing just that one thing. And then I will lose all interest and move on to something else. That's completely fine. It doesn't negate what you learned in that time. And then that's how I learned Japanese. That's why it took me so long to like learn it, because I wasn't consistent. I'm just not a consistent person when it comes to this kind of thing. You know? I jump from interest to interest, hobby to hobby. I cannot stick to one thing. And I have learned to make my peace with it. If I want to do something right now, I will do it to my heart's fill. I've found out that my interest patterns are cyclical. So there'll be a time when I'm super into anime, then there'll be a time when I'm super into some game, then there'll be a time when I'm super into like, BTS. I'm always into BTS, but like, there's gonna be a time when I'm super into writing, there's gonna be a time when I'm super into singing. I just make the best of that at that point. Sure, you leave it, you might forget a little bit, but the basics don't go away. And, yeah. There's multiple ways, you know? Oh, and another thing is, maybe, I don't know what your level of language, like your level of Japanese is, but when I was studying for N3, I would try and look at news in Japanese, you know? Or, if you have like any friends who speak Japanese, just text them in Japanese. Basically, you have to hack your daily routine. That's the bottom line. Hack your daily routine and sort of like slightly slide it in, you know? You don't have to separately take out time. It really depends upon the kind of person you are. If you're someone who's good at planning and dedicating time, do that. Plan it out. I'm not. I cannot do that to save my life. So I have to cheat. I have to cheat my brain. I have to trick it into doing things it doesn't want to do. Or I have to trick it into doing things it thinks it doesn't have the time to do, you know? Yeah. How to speak Japanese and not sound like a weeb? First of all, remember that anime Japanese is just not used on a daily basis. Try taking actual formal Japanese lessons and you're gonna be like, this is a whole different different world. Or take like business Japanese lessons. That's for sure gonna stop you from sounding like a weeb. And you're gonna be like, what is this language? I don't know anything. I don't understand anything. But that's reality for you. And that is the reality. Did you pick up Korean from watching videos? I actually don't know much Korean. I know like 5 words, but I watch dramas from time to time, and I watch a lot of like BTS content. So yeah, I guess whatever I know I did pick up from that, but my Korean is really bad. I don't even have a Korean language ability to speak of. I know like few words, that's it. But hey, you know, in a year or so, like maybe next year or next to next year, I want to take like Korean lessons, but I will take it from a Japanese teacher, you know? So they teach Korean in Japanese instead of learning it from English. Because there's a lot of words that sort of overlap, like yaksok and yaksoku, you know? That sort of a thing. I know there's like a ton other tochak and tochaku. I think it will be interesting. Yeah, and I'm gonna have Nagi teach me. I'm gonna grab Nagi and be like, Nagi-san so oshite. Hey, I'm gonna try that. But you know, not right now. I have enough on my plate. Lol. Okay. Right. On the subject of languages, I have another question about language. I'm trilingual and I usually forget what to say in my mother tongue language and just go on with the conversation. The problem is, sometimes I speak 2 or 3 languages in one sentence. What should I do? Okay, before I move on to the next part, I will answer the first part. Who are you speaking with? So for example, if I'm speaking in Hindi, it's very common for me to mix Hindi and English, okay? So I kind of understand what you mean by this. It can be certainly very difficult to switch between language. But who are you speaking to? What language do they speak in? I doubt they speak in all of these languages. So I think a good practice is to speak in, you know, one language. It's okay if you borrow words from other languages, but oh, it's hard to understand with the filter? Oh no! Okay, we'll turn it off.
Oh my god, it's me! I'm gonna have some water. Okay. Alright. Cool. Let's do the rest of this like this. Okay. So here's what I do. When I'm at home, I talk to my friends in English mixed with some Hindi. I speak to my Japanese friends in Japanese. And I try and speak to my parents. I don't actually, but like one thing you could do is try and speak to your parents in, or your family in your native language. Second thing is take it slow. You don't have to speak very fast. Make a concentrated effort to stick to one language. And third thing is you might have to change how you think of languages. I saw this video which I thought was really interesting, where he says, I think of language like drawers. Oh! Spacha arigato. I'm gonna read the donations at the end. So, yeah. I'm gonna read them all at the end. But anyway, thanks. So yeah, I was watching this video where someone says, it's like drawers. Treated like drawers. You have a Japanese drawer, and when you're speaking in Japanese, that drawer is open. And then switching to another language becomes really difficult. You are gonna have to close that drawer and then open the English one, you know, that sort of a thing. But yeah, this is a difficult problem. I forget like words and languages all the time. It can be really difficult. The last thing I would say on this topic is be a little kinder to yourself. It's not like brains are the most cooperative things in the world. They're just very hard to talk sense into sometimes. So don't be too hard on yourself if this happens to you. Yeah. Take it slow. And you don't have to sort of be eloquent in all situations. So I think it's alright. Okay. Is being passive when with people really bad? I mean, I'm not talking much when people are not talking to me, even if there's only 2 people. Honestly, it really depends upon who you're with. If these are your friends who are comfortable with silence, then it's okay to be passive. Also, you might not be talking, but you might be the kind of person who's an active listener, and that's valuable too. If the world was full of talkative people, then wow, it would be even more of a nightmare. If the topic is something where your input is necessary, then you can make more of an effort. But if someone's just telling you a story, it's okay to be passive. And if the other person doesn't like that you're being passive, tell them, hey, this is how I usually am. I will try and be more active, but my natural state is to be more calm and quiet, I guess. It's all okay, you know? I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it can be difficult if, you know, you're expected to contribute to the conversation because it directly involves you. That takes some practice, but otherwise, it's totally cool. Yeah. And also, like, please, if you're in the chat, whoever sent this question, there's a lot of really cool thoughts and suggestions even in my chat as well. Everybody's really awesome, and they feel your pain, so you're not alone. Remember that. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I was very helpful, but we'll do another one. I don't know if I already answered this question. I have really bad memory. Okay. Yeah, I am what, quadrilingual? But yeah, English is my first language, so I get it. Sometimes when I'll try to speak Hindi, only like Japanese will come out of my mouth, or sometimes when I try to speak Japanese, Hindi will come out of my mouth when I don't know what to say. I completely feel you. Maybe you can make a note of the words that you know you have trouble with, you know? Yeah. Hi Noor, what do you do when you feel stuck in a place in life? Now, I don't know if this is a physical location or if you're talking about like phase in life. Again, this I think is extremely depends from person to person. It varies. What, I don't know enough to be able to actively advise you, because I don't know if you're stuck with the project, if you're stuck in relationship, or if you're stuck in like career wise, if you're stuck in a particular like geographical place. I don't know. But rather than advice, I think there's one thing that we should keep in mind whenever we're faced with problems, whenever you're faced with stagnation. And this is a very paradoxical thought process, okay? People believe they're in full control of their lives. That's a lie. A lot of your current situation is dictated by the kind of situation, conditions you were born into. Which country, you know? What are the kind of socioeconomic conditions you were born into? Are you a male or female? Are you cis? What is your orientation? Do you have disability? There's just so many things that you don't have control over, and that dictates where you are in life. It feels shitty, but there is still a significant part of life that you can actively change. I know it's very contradictory, but this is where, you have to mess with your brain a little bit. So the days where you feel out of control is when you have to do things that you feel in control of to feel better about your life. And the days where you feel in control but things are going wrong, remind yourself of the things that are out of your control and blame that. It's like a thin line that you have to walk. It's like a trapeze artist. We're constantly on the brink of falling. Yeah. So you have to sort of trick your brain, into influencing your attitude on any particular given day. I know I'm not directly answering your question, but that's also because I don't have enough context in as to what you're feeling stuck with. But if it's your career, what is your goal? And can you do something? You don't have to change your whole job, because I know that's difficult right now. But can you ask to be put on a different project or something like that? Can you do something differently? Try a different tool, If it's a relationship, again, can you try something different? Maybe you really cannot do anything about it. That is possible too, because we're literally in the middle of a pandemic. Also, it's impossible to stay positive and hopeful all the time. It just, again, stuff like that, all of these emotions are all like tanks. They are in limited capacity, and it takes either time or effort to recharge them. So it is impossible for people to feel positive and hopeful all the time. When you can do that, that's great. When you can't do it, the best advice I can give you is just hang in there. Maybe measure time in different units. If you're the kind of person who thinks in months, try changing it to, hey, I got through this week, fine. I got through today, all right, just one more day. Or just one more hour. Or if you're someone who is very task oriented, break down really big tasks into smaller ones and be like, okay, I finished this small little thing. On to the next one. 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 That sort of a thing. Again, this, method might not work for everyone, but maybe it gives you some ideas or perspective. Oh, your question was, what do I do when I feel stuck in life? Well, I do one of two things. One is literally have all hell break loose in trying to change it. Or I just buckle down and try to do at least one thing every day that gives me pure, unadulterated joy. It could be something as simple as looking at cat pictures for an hour straight, or rewatching Gintama for the 500th time. I don't know. A lot of life is either you're actively doing something or waiting for something to happen. So I was actually quite stuck from the years 2015 to 2019. Actually, yeah, I felt really stuck in 4 years. But I did what I could. I switched jobs. I tried doing new hobbies. There were days when I really didn't feel like doing anything. And on those days, I just lay on my bed and waited till it was time to sleep again. There's no one answer. And I don't know about positivity and hope, but if it's possible for you, great. If it's not, it's okay not to be positive all the time, but just don't be hard on yourself, you know? Be kinder to yourself. Remember, your body is trillions of cells working very hard to keep you alive. And there's, you know, someone out there who cares about you. They wish they could help, but they probably can't. But just being able to breathe is, I think, a blessing. Another thing that helps me feel better if I'm having a really shitty day, another thing that helps me feel better is, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, and I don't do it in the way people say it. It's called practicing gratitude. But then, you know, on the internet they have like these tips where, you know, you have like a gratitude journal, and I don't do any of that. I'm shit at like maintaining my thoughts and emotions. It's just all over the place. But if I'm feeling really shit, I sit down and, you know, I kind of think about my best friend. I'm super like, I have so much gratitude that I was able to find a friend like that. I think that kind of a bond, I know not many people have that. I'm very grateful for that. I think about my parents, okay? We don't always get along, but I know that they did the best they could for me, and it's because of them that I turned out all right. And I feel grateful for that. Then I think about, you know, I don't know, I kind of try and watch videos which are a little bit like educational. Like, for example, I follow a bunch of YouTube creators who are like, who have some sort of a thing that, I don't know, they're not your average people. So there's this creator that I really love, and she has EDS, she also has a hearing disability, and she's also not straight. So her life is like pretty crazy, and when I look at her, I don't feel bad about myself. I just feel, oh my god, I can definitely try harder. But that doesn't always work for everyone. You know, you shouldn't compare your sorrows to other people, because all problems are not made equally for everyone. Just because someone is, you know, worse off than you doesn't mean that your life is better. It doesn't change the fact that you feel shitty about it. It doesn't change the fact that, you know, you're not happy. What, did somebody guess who I'm talking about in chat? But anyway, yeah. But you know, I guess the best thing you can do is get creative with the things that you're given. Yeah. Try everything. Try gratitude, try crying, try venting, try new hobbies, and when it gets too tiring, like, take it easy. You know? When the going gets tough, the tough get going, but if you're just an average person, it's okay to stop for a while. It's okay to just chill out a little bit. It's fine. You weren't brought into this world because you asked for it. So you're not obligated to anyone except yourself, you know? Anyway. Okay. We go to the next question. I hope that was helpful. After I answer the marshmallows, I want you guys in chat to sort of talk to me about how you're feeling. I'm not ignoring you guys, it's just my brain anyway doesn't work linearly, so if I start replying to you guys, then I will never end up finishing the marshmallows. So I'm going to finish the marshmallows and then talk a little bit. Is that okay? And yeah, I'm really happy that you guys are talking to each other in chat. That's really awesome. You guys are cool. Okay. Hi Noor. I work from home, so my work time is flexible, but sometimes the job is so stressful that just thinking about it, about starting it, fills me with anxiety, and I end up doing something else instead. Do you have any tips on how to deal with this / discipline? Thank you. Wow. I feel you. I once had this job which just literally sucked the life force out of me. You have many options actually. You can either quit and find another less stressful job. That's pretty drastic. Okay? And if you're gonna do that, you have to really sit down and think about what is it that you really want to do when it comes to your job. I think about this kind of stuff a lot, like what should I be doing, you know? That's very extreme, and I understand, like, right now it's probably not your best option given the pandemic and everything. The other thing you can do, again, it depends upon your workplace, but if procrastination is your problem, I feel you so much, because I am the most procrastinatory person ever to ever procrastinate. Sorry. Here's something that you can try. It won't always work. It doesn't always work for me. But for example, you know, someone messages you asking you to do something. Don't think about it. Don't think about the fact that you have to do it. The moment that thought starts to form in your head, just leave it. Instead, on like full autopilot mode, just dive into it. Because this is your work, you probably already know what has to be done. Without thinking about what you need, like, you know, without thinking about the fact that you need to do it, don't give your brain a chance to do that and just go straight to the task and just finish it off. Chances are it's going to not actually take that much of your time. Probably. I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of ideas, but here's what I think. For me, comparing myself to other people just never works. I either feel really shitty about myself, or, you know, I just feel like I am the most useless person. And that's just unfair to you, because you're also trying your hardest. So I wouldn't fall into the comparing yourself to other people trap. Feeling more or less fortunate than someone else is just not helping you. It's your life. Focus on yourself. On procrastination, my only advice is the only way to fix it, and I failed to do this many times myself, but we have to keep trying, is when the, you know, when the task comes to you, just do it. There's a saying in Hindi. Kal karna hai, no, what? Kal kare to aaj kare so ab. It basically means if you're gonna do something tomorrow, don't do it tomorrow, do it today. If you're gonna do it today, do it right now. It's really hard to do. It's really hard to follow through with it. But just try not to overthink it. When your day begins, just write down the things that you do need to do, and then just get it out of your way. Like, yeah. I don't think this is very helpful advice, but anyway. Having a routine helps. Man, I am not a routine kind of person. I don't have a set time when I wake up. I don't have a set time when I eat meals. I don't have anything fixed in life. Routine just doesn't work for me. So I have to get really creative on a daily or a weekly basis to try and keep my life going. Because the things that were true for me last month are no longer true for me anymore. So it just, yeah, I have to get really, you know, I have to get creative. I have to trick my brain into doing things. So trick your brain into doing stuff. Second is, if it's so stressful that, you know, you're having health problems because of it, it might be worth speaking to your senior or your HR and say, hey, I know this job is, you know, it's important to me as well, and, you know, I value it, but I do think I need to give enough attention to my health and my time as well. Let me give you an example. And I don't think there was any choice in this, and it just really makes me feel sad when I think about it. But, you know, it's his life and that's how it turned out. But my dad, he had a stressful job, but there was a time when it was particularly stressful, and I was really young, I don't remember it, but he tells me about it now. And because of that, it gave him a lot of long-term health issues. It gave him IBS and stuff like that, and it's just, you know, you think back and you're like, was it really worth it? But, you know, he took that stress on, he took it on, he did his job. It gave him health issues now, but it also helped our family kind of be financially stable, you know? I don't think it's his stress that did that, but the fact that he continued to do that job and not give up. It's tricky, man. There's no one answer. Every route has its own pitfalls and its own perks. I think the thing that you can do is just take a day, like a weekend, to sit and like reflect. What are the pros and cons of your job? What are your priorities in life? And it won't happen once, like on just one sitting, but maybe try and make time, like me time, where you like actively reflect and reevaluate your priorities in life. See if you can afford therapy or something, you know, to help deal with stress. For me, meditation just never works, but if it works for you, you can try it. You can try things that are known to be work for reducing stress, like exercise or like hobbies or whatever. These are very standard Googleable answers, but you could try that, or try therapy. That could work. Here's what I do to manage stress. My best friend is like my sounding board. I just kind of went to her and she went to me. So at the end of a stressful day, we talk about it, we cry about it if we need to. It makes us feel lighter. Or I'll just look at something that gives me a lot of endorphins, you know, like cat videos or something. But yeah, it's stress. There's no easy answer to that, man. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at answering this question. You can try a lot of different things. There's a lot of answers. You know what works for you best. If you're a routine kind of person, you can try that. If you're not, then you'll have to just get creative with how you approach things, you know. But remember, it's okay to ask for help. If you need to talk to your superiors at your workplace about it, or if you need to talk to a therapist, or if you need to talk to friends and family members, do it. Okay? Don't keep it in. Let it all out. Let it all out. 強がらなくていいんだね。誰かがななななななななななななななな寂しくなんて I really forgot the lyrics to this damn song. Yeah, I forgot the lyrics. I have shit memory. Yeah. Okay, this one. Advice 3. Hi Noor, love your videos. My problem is that 3 of my favorite VTubers retired this year. How do I deal with this? I know that they have their own lives to deal with, but what do I need to do to get through this in case it happens again? From I am a Normie 115. Nuraim. Okay, you're Nuraim. Got it. Oh, Chia-san, spacha arigatou. Yeah. I understand this, you know, like when your favorite singer or like favorite, I don't know, entertainer, it could be a wrestler or a sports person, when they retire, it's really hard. One thing to remember is give yourself time. You don't need to rush. There's no hurry. People forget there's no hurry to feel okay. You don't need to feel okay all the time, you know? In fact, emotions are so valuable. I'm the kind of person who hated feeling bad, so I repressed my emotions like a lot, and then after a point I stopped feeling anything, and I was like, that's terrible. I should stop doing that to myself, which is probably why I have such bad memory. There's like gaps in my memory because I don't remember what happened at a certain point because I didn't like that memory, and I don't think that's fair to you, you know? It's good to feel pain in certain quantities. You need it. It's healthy. Emotions are healthy. Anything that is not excessive is, you know, done in moderation is healthy. So give yourself time. Remember that they will always have a special place in your heart. Like, I get this because like Gintama ended and like I was like, what is my life? What's gonna happen to life now? But I have those memories and they're very precious to me, and I can rewatch the series. I don't know if you can rewatch stuff of your VTubers, but I'm sure there's like clips and stuff out there. Take your time, you know? Take your time to miss them. Take your time to feel shitty about it. But eventually you'll find yourself healing. Time heals most things, not everything, but time does heal. And remember that, yeah, they have their life, but for them also, their time as VTubers was precious. And I know that they were happy to meet you. And regardless of where everybody ends up in life, it's a beautiful thing that you crossed paths in some way or another. Know that they appreciate all the love that you gave them. And even if it's goodbye, you get to think of each other, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And the fact that you can feel a little melancholic about it, I think it just makes that memory so much more precious, you know? It means you cared, and I think that speaks a lot about you as a person, and it shows that you are good and sincere. Because everything comes to an end at a certain point, you know? For whatever reason. It's not it's a sad thing. It's not a bad thing. And it's inevitable. But I think it's just beautiful that you were able to meet them in the first place. And I'm sure they think the same way about you. So it's okay to be sad. If you are a creative person, you can express that you miss them through, you know, your creativity, like your art or something like that. Channel it, you know? Channel your emotions if you can, or just you know, live with it. It's they're not bad. Missing those feelings of sadness or, you know, missing them is not a bad thing, and it's something that, you know, in my mind is precious. Yeah. And remember that, you know, the time they spent with you was equally beautiful for them. I promise you that. Okay? Yeah. I don't know if that helped, but okay. Move on. Okay, this is another long one, and I'm very scared to answer this one because it's kind of a difficult topic. I don't actually know how to address it. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to replace the gap that they left. When a VTuber retires, you don't have to replace them with something else, you know? They have their own memory. It's like a shelf. Think of it like a showcase. Those memories, you place them into one shelf, like even if they're gone, you know, if they're not streaming anymore, you don't have to replace it. They all have their own special place in your heart. Yeah. Next one. Hello Noor, I hope you're doing well. I'm writing to ask for some relationship advice. Recently, a woman I was going out with decided to break things off in order to protect me emotionally from her homophobic family, who could not accept her dating another woman. Though I personally don't believe it was necessary on my behalf, I respect her choice and definitely don't want to make coming out any more stressful for her. We're still friends and I support her however I can, of course, but it seems there's still a lot more, there are still a lot of more than friend feelings on both sides. I have no intention of bringing it up unless she does first. I would be happy to just remain friends, but I can't help secretly wondering if it's truly over for us as a couple. Is there any chance that things may still work out if I wait long enough, or is that way of thinking foolish and unhealthy? Maybe holding on is just a burden on the both of us. I don't know what to do. Thank you for listening. First of all, your feelings are completely valid. They're completely valid. You like this person. It's not easy to just get over them. And in fact, it can be really hard to stay friends with someone you have feelings for, right? It's really difficult to do. And in fact, I think you're pretty amazing for even trying, you know? Yeah. Here's what I think. Maybe you should talk to her and say, hey, I still have feelings for you. Are you sure this is the end? What has been happening with your family, you know? Because sometimes people can change, sometimes families come around. But if it doesn't feel like that's gonna happen anytime soon, then I think you owe it to yourself to at least try and move on. You don't have to force it. Again, none of these things you have to force. You don't have to force yourself to remain friends with her. But if you want to, of course, you can totally do that. You don't have to force yourself to get over her immediately either. But if, you know, she's like, hey, no, it's not gonna happen, she also might still have feelings for you. I'm sure it's hard for her as well. But talk to her, see where her life is going. If she's able to move away from her family due to whatever reason, you know, growing up or like college or a job, if that means you could be together, maybe give it a shot. Because, you know, yeah. But if it feels like it's not gonna work out and holding on is gonna hurt you, then you should, again, not force yourself to get over it, but try and start to let go. You know? And it must be really difficult to still remain friends with her, because, man, I have mad respect for you. Like, if it were me, I would probably be like, I can't just be friends with you and like just not see them again. But then that's just me, and I think you are very cool for that. But I think, you know, talk to her, get a read on what's going on in her life and with her family. If she's someone who's really close to her family, then it's kind of scary to think that she's gonna have to deal with homophobic parents lifelong, while she herself is not like a standard heterosexual. Is that a word? A standard heterosexual? sorry, I'm giving advice, but a standard heterosexual is just such a funny term. Yeah, no, I'm not into standard heterosexuals, but anyway, back to business. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of things you have to think about and weigh in on, and I get that. It's just okay, how about this? This is again just an idea. Step 1, talk to her, try and get a read of what's going on. Second, give yourself a time limit. you know? Give it, say, till the end of 2020. Or say March 21. Or even next month. You set the time limit and say, hey, I'm gonna wait. Tell her this. In fact, she should know that this is what you're thinking. Because if you don't communicate, it's gonna be a problem. Like, what if she moves on and she just doesn't know you're feeling this way, you know? What if she has gotten over you? You don't know, you need to talk to her first. Second, set your own time limit and be like, I'm gonna wait for her till this time. After that, you're gonna try and move on. So then, you know, you're sort of prepping yourself mentally. And by the end of that time, either things have gotten better, maybe those feelings have gotten stronger, I don't know, or maybe those feelings have just gone away, or maybe you found someone else, or maybe something else happened. You know, that's the thing with life. You don't know what's gonna happen. You look at this pandemic. We had all these things that we were probably going to do or whatever, and it's just, there's no guarantee in life, you know? So talk to her first thing. Oh, is the chat frozen? Closeted gays have it really hard, but they need more time. For sure. For sure. This thing takes time. And don't get stuck on the idea that, you know, you're the one for her, you know? What you're doing is great. And I really respect the fact that you're being there for her as a friend. And I think that's really amazing. But, you know, see where she's at. Be a friend because it's the right thing to do, because you want to, but don't be there for her to be a martyr. Don't be there because you have some hope that you're gonna be the one that's going to change life for her. That's not on you. That's not your responsibility. Okay? Like, this whole mentality, I'm not saying you have it. I don't know if you do or not. But this whole thing that, you know, I should be this special person who does XY things for another person. But willing it to happen never, it's a sure way of making sure it doesn't. You know? That sort of a thing depends more upon the other person than you. So, yeah. You gotta talk to her. Get on the same page. See where she stands. And then you figure out how you feel about it. And you can take it slow. You don't have to decide immediately. But you should have, like, you know, action points. And be like, first, I'm gonna talk to her. See what she says. Then see what you need to do about it. If she was planning to leave her family. I don't know. There's just so many things to think about, right? Like, I can't effectively give a whole idea immediately, like right now. Yeah, I was pretty useless for this. I'm sorry. But I guess, I mean, for whatever it's worth, I'm rooting for you. And I think you deserve all the love in the world. And that you will find someone who you can be entirely out and proud and gay with. It could be this person, you never know, or it could be someone else. Whatever it is, life has something in store for you. Just continue to be a good person, continue to communicate, and I think one day or another things will work out for you. And I'm rooting for you, always. Yeah. Love word, stick to 2D, lol. Honestly, Noor, a lot of these questions are really hard to answer and can't be solved with your great advice, but you're trying to help them. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the goal of this stream is not to solve your problems, but to sort of give a perspective you might not have thought of before, to give ideas, maybe just, you know, a little nudge. Nobody can solve each other's problems, you know? If it's something we directly are in control with, only we can solve it. But if it's something induced by your situations, then until your situation changes, you can't solve it either, you know? Life is fucking complicated. Gosh, I'm so annoyed. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was the next one. What's up with these really long ones? There's a friend who I enjoy talking to, but simultaneously hate talking to. It's exhausting trying to talk to them regularly. All they ever do is talk about themselves, and the occasion that I can talk about something from my side, somehow it's always spun around to relate to themselves. Oh, thanks for the super chat! If they aren't interested, wouldn't it be a lot better to tell me, hey, I'm not interested and rather talk to other people, instead of a fake cool, I like it, then instant change into conversation about something they like. I know they can engage really well with other people since we share the same chat group, so this shouldn't be an issue normally. I also always have to be careful with my words since they somehow get taken as insults. It's gotten to the point now where barely message about anything because everything has become taboo for them unless you're asking for compliments. What should I do about them? Oh, and thanks Noor for the stream. Your advice is lit. Oh my god. I have some pressure now. Here's the thing. If you know for a fact that they are not like this with other people, then it just shows that they don't give a damn about your interests. And the fact that you stood up and asked about it at some point and they got defensive, it means they're aware of it and they don't want to change it. This is going to be very harsh from my side, I think. Maybe somebody else can give better advice. I'm going to give the worst advice. In fact, don't take my advice on this. See if somebody has kinder advice. But it really sounds to me like this friendship isn't working out, you know? Your time and your emotional capacity is limited, and I think you should invest it like you would invest money. Smartly. That was kind of whatever. It's a terrible, you know, juxtaposition because, you know, we all know, or most of us are bad with money, but whatever. My point is, your time is limited, your energy is limited, you should spend it on people who give a damn. This doesn't sound like friendship to me, man. You know, friendship is about talking and listening. It's give and take. How is something, you know, in fact, friendship is where you can like tease them. And, you know, it should be okay. You don't have to constantly be nice and constantly give compliments. You should be able to be critical because you know it comes from a place of genuinely caring about them. I think you should just forget about this friend and move on. See, here's the thing. I get it. Not all of us have many friends and you want to hold on to the ones that you have some sort of relationship with. I get that. You know? Not everyone finds it easy to make friends. But I promise you, one good friend is better than 50 bad ones. Trust me. And you're gonna, if you're someone who has a difficult time making friends, just know that there will be some person you will find who is easy to talk to and they're like you know you can vibe with. You just have to make an effort. Here you made your efforts, it hasn't paid off, so it's time to move on, I would say. Yeah, I could go into more details about how to find friends, but then I don't have the context. You've asked me about this particular friend, and I think they don't deserve your time and energy anymore. You don't have to message them and be like, hey, I'm cutting ties. If conversation doesn't happen, don't force it. Just forget about it, you know? Leave them be. I don't think they're worth the time. See, okay, here's the thing. I'm old. And I have spent way too much time on friendships that are not both ways. So when I encounter something like that, I'm very quick to cut off people. I'm not saying it's necessarily a good thing. That's how I function. And in this particular case, that's the kind of advice I would give. Yeah. Okay, we're reaching the end. Almost the end, not quite there yet. Hi Noor, thank you for the fun streams. It keeps me somewhat distracted from myself. I don't know what I'm feeling lately. Home just doesn't feel like home anymore. It's quarantine, so I'm stuck in the house. My parents fight a lot these days, which makes the atmosphere in the house so heavy. I mostly pretend that I don't really care and ignore the heavy atmosphere to the point where I don't feel anything anymore. I also find social interaction with my family uncomfortable. I don't know why. Every time they say something positive to me, I shrug it off and not take it seriously. Every time they try to bond with me, I'll always escape. All I remember about my parents is the negative things they did to me when I was young. I'm trying to change that mentality, but it's not easy. Sorry if this is too long. I never really had someone to talk about my problems because I keep them bottled up inside me. Hey, do you sound like 18-year-old me? This is literally... Did 17-year-old me write this? What? Oh my god. Literally... Literally, this is like past me. Oh god. Okay. Before I answer, I'm gonna have to pee really quick. Like, I really need to pee. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I need to drink some water. Okay, here's the thing. Like I said, this really sounds like something I wrote. Sorry. When I, like 17-year-old me, wrote. Honestly, family is complicated. Parents are complicated. I don't know about you, but you see, here's the thing when it comes to Asian families. There's this whole thing about, you know, you have to respect your parents. Your parents are always right. And, you know, you see them as like these complete figures. They're like, you know, they become your parents and you forget that they're human. Nobody gave them a manual on how to do this either. And unfortunately, at least when it comes to Asian families, the thinking that, you know, parents should communicate more with their kids, should apologize for things, should sort of try and spend more time understanding their children instead of pretending like they already understand them completely. That sort of thinking is very new. It's really hard to change old habits. Remember, they're much older than you, which means they're much more seated in their own ways, and it's really difficult for them to change. For you who's younger, it is definitely more easier to change. I'm not saying that change itself is easy. Change is just difficult, but it's more likely that you will be able to view things differently than it being likely for them to actually change. So that's how I view it. I think this is a topic where everybody has a different opinion on it, and each to themselves. Honestly, I'm not saying, you know, your opinion. Whoever is speaking in chat, like, we all have our own experiences and our opinions stem from that. For me, it took me a while to realize my parents are very flawed people. They're human. They tried their best, but sometimes you trying your best is not necessarily what actually leads to the best outcome. You know what I mean? You know? So one thing is you're stuck with them for a while until the pandemic ends. But trust me on this, when you move, like I ran away, right? And when I did is when I was actually able to think about these things, and I realized, they are different from me in many ways, but we're also similar in many ways. This is difficult. In my case, I knew my parents did wish the best for me, but it was hard for them to take into account that the things that held true for them in their time, and the things that held true for other families did not necessarily hold true for me. It's honestly, this is not easy. It's gonna take time. It's going to take, I don't even know, it's different for different families. For me, it took a long time for that sort of difficult, uncomfortable feeling with my parents to go away. Even now, like when I go home to my parents, I don't live with them. I haven't lived with them in like more than a decade now. When I do go, initially it's like this, oh, I missed you, and they're being very sweet. And then like it starts to get annoying. And you're like, holy shit. That's difficult. But ultimately, they are their own people too. They have their good parts and they have their flaws. There are honestly a lot of things you can do in this situation. If it's very serious, I would recommend seeing a therapist if your parents are open to it. I know mine aren't. So I had to figure everything out, and I'm not trying to take away all the credit though. It took me a long time to convince my parents to be okay with the way I am, because I am not someone who sticks to something long term. It's really bad, I know, but I have made my peace with it, and I just promised myself, if I'm doing something right now, I will make the best out of it. I will give it my 100%, and when I move on, I move on. Like that's what it is. It took a long time for my parents to come around to that. I don't think they've fully come around to it either. Asian parents, right? They want you to get married and settle by a certain age. I'm not like that. I was just generally not a typical kid. But I think once you grow older, they inevitably have to make peace with who you are, and the fact that you do have an identity as someone who's outside of them as your parents. This is all very hard to do. So as I was saying, one, see if you can do group therapy. Hey, by the way, I'm closeted to my parents too. They're like literally the only people in the world who don't know, and I haven't told them. I think I'll eventually have to, but I haven't told them because I don't think they'd understand. But I'm lucky that I sort of live away from them or whatever. The second thing you could do is... yeah, this is a difficult question. Here's the thing. When you are actively involved in a conversation with them, try to be more patient. Try to be calmer. And if they compliment you, smile, thank you, say thank you. Try and be genuine in that moment. Try and be the best version of yourself. And this is not for their sake. This is for your own sake. So that you can tell yourself, I did the best I could, Do that. Because a lot of times actions speak louder than words. And if your words are not getting through them, if you show them that, you're being mature about this, they might start to try and understand. And if they're trying to bond with you, you know, give them if you say no 10 times, the 11th time try and say yes. And here's the thing, again, parents are not perfect, and I don't think we were perfect children either. I don't think it was easy for my parents to raise me. I wasn't a bad kid at all, but because I didn't have siblings, I could be extremely demanding, I could be extremely selfish, I'm still extremely moody. So it's not like I'm perfect either, you know? I'm not the perfect daughter, they're not the perfect parents, and that's okay. Your friends are flawed too. You're not always getting... It gets a lot crazier because they're your parents, so it feels so much more suffocating, and it has so much more gravity to it, and I get that. But as you grow older, you start to learn how to put less stock by their view of you. And I know I have not answered your question, and please don't mind it being too long. It's completely okay. I completely understand. I don't know how old you are, but honestly, for me, I can only share my experience. Okay, let's put it this way. I can only share my experience and how I still deal with this. Maybe it'll give you some ideas, or maybe it won't at all, in which case I'm sorry. For me, I ran away, and then I had to really struggle a lot by myself, which made me realize no matter how many flaws my parents had, their good parts outweighed it by 100-fold. You know? Sure, we fought a lot, but they, you know, and they would like scold me for doing for starting projects and stopping it, but they'd never like physically take something away from me. Of course, every household is different. I'm talking about my own experiences. They never sort of like how do I say, like for example, if I loved reading a lot, like there would be times when I'd read for like 8 hours or 9 hours a day. They would never like take my book and like throw it away, or like, you know, whatever. They'd keep yelling at me about it. But yeah. And someone in chat said it's a good thing they try to bond with you. Yeah, like for example, my parents were not very outgoing people. We'd go out for dinner, I guess, sometimes, but we didn't go to movies and stuff. Actually, when I was much younger, my dad really influenced my taste in music, so... But, you know, over time, that kind of goes away. And now, honestly, I don't have much to bond with them over. But that's okay! They're your parents, and everybody's relationship with their parents is different. It takes time for you to find yours. What happened with me is I ran away, I realized I just missed my parents like crazy. I still became independent, then I started going home to visit them. Initially there was like this honeymoon phase where it was like, oh my god, I love you so much, whatever. And over a period of time, again, you know, their idea of what I should do with my life and mine were so different. Even though the intention was the same, like I also want to be happy, they also want me to be happy. Ultimately it doesn't change, but like how they thought about it and I thought about it were different, but I still kept doing my thing. I'm lucky that I was able to do that. Eventually I succeeded in a few things and they were like, okay, she's managing, she's doing okay. So they started to get like, you know, get off my back a little bit. We still argue a lot. It's not perfect, but I have made peace with the fact that they are who they are. I'm going to try my best to be patient with them, but I'm not going to stop them from... I'm not going to let them stop me from being me. Yeah. I think I'm lucky that way, but anyway. This is generally the best live chat on the VTuber community. Aw, thank you. Yeah. Like, I know for example, like, my bestie, she's like really close to her mom. They fight a lot, it's not like they don't. But she can talk about almost all of the things that she talks to me about. I just can't do that with my mom. And for the longest time, I was like, why can't my parents be like XYZ's parents? That's impossible though, if you think about it. Your parents are very different, and mine, I know, worked really hard. My parents got married late, which is unusual for an Indian family. I was born pretty late, so they're much older than me. And I know that neither of them came from not even middle class. Like, this whole thing is a thing in India, by the way. Basically, we didn't have much money, and my dad worked really hard so that I could have a better future. And I am so grateful for him, for that. Grateful to him for that. I cannot English today. So, okay, maybe he doesn't understand my love for anime, or maybe he doesn't understand, my political views. Maybe he's, not as understanding of, for example, gay culture as I am. He's not very open-minded about it at all. But expecting them to be is doing the same to them what they do to you, You kind of get mad at your parents for expecting things from you, but then you're also expecting things from them. It works both ways. So I think it becomes less complicated if you just try to learn to let go of this idea of who they are and how things should be. I don't think, again, I've answered your question. I'm really sorry. Again, like I said, I can only tell you my experience and hope it gives you some ideas. But just remember, they're human, they're not perfect. And it does work both ways. So if they're trying to make an effort, you should too. And if you're trying to make an effort, they should too, And ultimately, at some point, you're gonna be able to move away, and that might put things into perspective, I don't know if your parents are the kind of people you can talk to. Mine, I used to find very difficult to talk to them. Over time, we kind of learned how to do it. But if they're the kind of people you can talk to, try talking to them. Yeah, you're gonna have to just try multiple things, Yeah. There's no easy answer to it. And I knew this was gonna be very hard to talk about on stream, but I still picked this question. In the hopes that I could tell you my experience and see if you could have a little bit of a takeaway from that. Anyway, chat, I'm so sorry this kind of was not helpful. But yeah. Drink some more water. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. Hey, if your parents are average people, chances are they genuinely do love you and they just don't express it in the way you want them to. And maybe they think that you're not expressing love in the way that they want you to. Yeah. It's not easy. Like, I'm so used to, telling my friends and my parents, oh, I love you, or I like putting my feelings into words. They're not those kind of people. They will show their love by, my mom will, every time I go home, she'll make me, amazing filter coffee, or she'll, cook stuff for me, or, whatever. She'll try and share whatever YouTube stuff she's watching lately. She's really into YouTube nowadays. My dad will try to engage me and, make me watch, detective shows with him. And for the longest time, I used to be so mad that, why don't you watch anime with me? If I can watch stuff with you, why don't you watch stuff with me? Now I'm like, I don't care, He just wants me to, chill with him, so I do that. And then I tell him, hey, I'm gonna go do this other thing, And generally he's like, oh, okay, because I spent some time with him, so he'll be okay with it. My mom, though, she's so cute. She remembers Sakura, because, that's one of the first anime I watched. Also, thanks for the super chat. I'm gonna read up everything at the end. Is Jinmin a BTS reference? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, but, it's really cute. And, yeah, engage them a little, entertain them a little, give them a little bit of your time. I think that's all they need. Apart from that, you know, when you do want your own me time, tell them that, hey, you know, I kind of, maybe you can make up excuses. Hey, I kind of got to work on this assignment thing. I'm just going to finish that, and use that to take like your me time. Again, try and hack into it. That's what I would say. Okay. I'm going to move on to the last one. This marshmallow is not asking for advice, but it's really, I thought it was really sweet. Like, they kind of gave a very warm message, and I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's just honestly so sweet. And I felt really nice reading it, and I just think, you know, my community is so amazing. You know, it's made of amazing people, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. By the way, when you sit back and think about it, you will realize your parents do have very, like, sweet traits. You just have to sort of like, you know, try and get past all the things that you don't like and see that things that you do like my parents are super hard. I always thought they were super hard to talk to, but now it's just like, you know, I know that they only have me to talk to about certain things, so I let them talk about it. It's the least I can do. Lend them a ear, you know? It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna read this message. It's really sweet. And then I became a BTS reference. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Man of the people, okay. Hito and min. Okay, fine, I got it. First off, I want to thank you and all the other NIJISANJI livers, VTubers for creating such great content. But most importantly, being great interactive human beings. Aww, thank you, it's so sweet. I know I'm supposed to be asking for advice, but I would like to give some back and pay it forward. You're a very kind person. With all of these things happening around us, it gets harder and harder to see the light, to have hope. We end up just existing within this maelstrom of negativity, and each day becomes a blur. But we must never lose sight of the light and never give up hope. Because there are people around us who care for us, admire us, and love us. So never give up, never fold, stand strong and move forever forward. Seeking help when needed, give help if you can. Hold on to your light and share it with those you love. And finally, never be cruel, never be cowardly, and never ever eat pears. Remember, hate is always foolish and love is always wise. Always try to be nice and never fail to be kind. The 12th Doctor. Thank you, Honzo. I think you should be the one doing the stream because you've summed up essentially everything that I wanted to say. Why am I doing the stream again? Why am I doing the stream again? Like, literally, I should have just put this message on screen for like 2 hours and that's I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. But thank you for being amazing and for, you know, thinking about other people. You're very kind, and this is solid advice, and I'm going to take it and pay it forward too. I'm glad that you decided to send me this marshmallow. I really want to thank you. You made my day, and I'm sure you made the day of a lot of people in chat as well. Yeah, I don't know the thing about pears, but it's like a Doctor Who reference, so, you know, go figure. But yeah, there was this thing actually, hold on. My friend had sent it to me. Now I don't know where it is anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know where I kept it, but okay, you know what, it's fine. When I find it, I will post it on Twitter. But yeah, it's difficult times. And we gotta remember, we're all in this together, and we know we're stars. Na na na, make that dream come. We're all in this together. Na 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 na, make our dreams come true. It ain't a Noor stream if I don't crack a like if I don't pull something like this, lol. But yeah, anyway, So chat, what's up? What did you guys think of this stream? I'm so curious, yeah. Tell me what's on your mind. Wow. Also, again, thanks once again to Hanzo. Hanzo, you're the man / woman / whatever your preferred gender identity. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You nice. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Okay. Awesome. Let me cut. Okay. Adored the stream. Yay! Been here for 5 minutes. A little late. You're a little late. But welcome anyway. It helped me a lot. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. It's nice to listen to your perspective and I felt so understood. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, I read your marshmallow. I'm glad I did. To the ones that I didn't read, I'm really sorry. Either I missed it or I didn't know how to address it. Generally, I try and address everything, but like I'm not a know-all. In fact, I know nothing. Jon Snow. Anyway, funny and helpful. Yay. Yay. Most of the advice only worked if people are willing and want to be helped. You know, I think if you sent me a marshmallow asking for advice, I would assume that it comes from a place of wanting to change. And ultimately, whether they want to or not, it's up to everyone. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to be helped also, though that can be really difficult for the people around them. But it's very case by case. You cannot like really generalize that kind of a thing. But yeah. I'll catch the archive to check if mine was right. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah. And I'm really, I just want to say thank you to everybody in chat. I know it was a more sincere kind of a serious sort of a stream, but you know, I have a lot of thoughts. And yeah, I want to say thanks to everybody in chat as well for sharing their own perspective, their own thoughts, for interacting and engaging and just generally being nice people, you know? Like, it's so easy to be like toxic and whatever, but like everybody was so kind and so nice, and you know, I feel very happy when I see normies in chat who I relate to. Like, I feel like we get along and we're kind of all on the same page, even if we have different viewpoints and stuff. That's totally cool. Like, what matters is the fact that we you know, have an open mind and we want to help people. Yeah.
Noor is charming. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Thank you. Oh my god, you're making me blush. Another reason why Noor is the best. Oh my god. Thank you. Cute chat. That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you so much.
チャットのみんな可愛いですよ。今日日本から見てる方々本当にごめんなさいね。結構英語オンリーな配信になってしまったんですけど、また日本語を配信しますので、ぜひ来てみてください。なんかね、ごめんごめんなさい。多分ね、日本語下手くそで言いたいことは 20% ぐらい言い切れないと思います。それは本当にごめんなさい。What? Oh, if you guys want to make a fan Discord server, you can totally go for it. Unfortunately, I am not allowed to join that. But if you guys want to do that kind of stuff, you know, you want to build a community, please do. And as usual, like, I always check my Twitter, and I love seeing, you know, whatever you guys are tweeting about on the hashtag Normies. I look at it like every day, and like hashtag Noor_art, whatever. I love seeing that, and As you know, I always try and reply or retweet anybody who mentions me or like does like fan art or has anything to say. Like I love hearing your thoughts, and it doesn't end here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even if I can't join Discord, I'm still watching Twitter.
I'm eyes on you. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Also, this is a monthly thing, so I'm gonna be doing another advice stream next month. If you feel like that's too long and you want like advice, let me know. Maybe I'll make this like a once in 2 weeks sort of thing. I don't know. But essentially, yeah, my marshmallow link is on my Twitter, so you can like send me your messages. It doesn't have to be advice, just tell me what's on your mind. If you type it out, you might feel lighter about it. Yeah. Honestly, Noor, I think streaming is more than enough. Watching your streams make me feel happy and makes me feel very big brain. Thank you, I'm so happy. Time to sample Noor noises and make a lo-fi beat. Please do it and link it to me, and I will stream it 1 billion times. And I'm really late. Well, I'm glad you came. Oh god. Karaoke stream anytime soon? Yeah, I think it should be soon. Oh, by the way, guys, I do have not Noor. I have news. I'm going to be turning on memberships very soon, channel memberships. I'm just sort of working out a couple of kinks on there, and lol, kinks. No. But yeah, I'm just like doing some of the logistics on that. So members essentially will get like fan badges and like custom emojis that they can use, and I've designed some of them myself, and some of them I got someone really awesome to draw for me, so that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. And members only content will essentially be like karaoke streams or ASMR streams, or maybe like basically members only, where maybe I do like very specific, very close-knit free chat and stuff like that. I might try out some games, you know, before streaming it. If I'm just trying it out, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like secret building projects on membership only streams in Minecraft. I don't know, there's like a whole lot of things. We can do like drinking streams, yeah, where it's like whatever. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm not going to do like, that doesn't mean like I'm not going to not do drinking streams for like regular streams, but like I think the membership only streams I will sort of do the ASMR there. Karaoke, I still haven't figured if I'm going to make that like a members only thing, but let me tell you something, guys. Rights, like for like songs, even if I get like permission for a song, getting like the backing track and getting the permissions for that, finding one is such a pain in the ass. Like I literally want to do a karaoke stream titled "Rights Are a Pain in the Ass." Yeah. I'll be more drunk on the membership only stream. Yeah. Maybe I'll read some some interesting stuff. I don't know. Maybe we'll read like scripts, you know what I mean? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Karaoke with like I could definitely do a cappella or like request based a cappella, and so it's not like a fixed set list. Like a regular karaoke will be a fixed set list, but like, you know, if it's a members only stream, the members can request like songs, and if I know how to sing it, I can do like a cappella version. So yeah. So yeah, that's gonna happen soon. I will announce it. I just have some like life stuff happening, which is why I haven't been able to stream that often also lately, but that stuff will end very soon. It'll end on next Monday, so we just have a week of things being low-key, and then after that I'll have all the time in the world, honestly. So I should be able to be more active after that, so yeah. Yeah, so that's one important thing that I had to say. We're gonna read the super chats now. We're gonna read the donations. Just give me a moment. Okay, I love doing this for donations, like reading donations. So, are you ready? La 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 la. No. Why am I open the wrong website? The wrong website. Wait. My immortal. Is that the Harry Potter fanfic? Oh my god, I'm dying. That's so funny. Oh my god, you guys. That's so funny. Maybe. I don't know. I'll check with my staff if I have rights for it. And if I can, then I can definitely like try. I would love to. I want to. Drarry, dude. Yeah. Drarry fanfic, let's go. That's so funny, you guys made my day. Okay. Yes, okay, reading donations like the title on the screen says. Oh, you can't hear again? Oh shit. Okay. La Giba. It's in Hindi. Donated. Hajimemashite! Arigatou! Spacha arigatou! Thank you so much. Kaito Jinmin-san. Arigatou! Thank you so much. Jia! Thanks for the super chat. Thank you. Victor Garcia. Thanks as always. Love is ephemeral. So are super chats. It's true. And I love you. Kaito Jinmin once again. Thank you so much. Pain of being Indian and being a weeb. I know, right? Tell me about it. But it's okay. अपना time आएगा. अपना time आएगा. और मेरा भी number आएगा. Anyway, Imoto Yuki, thank you for the donation. Thank you for your advices, Noor. I always look forward to listening to your wisdom. Love you, love you. Thank you. Reno Lamb. Thank you for the donation. Great stream as always. Definitely put a much needed smile on my face today. Cheers to you too, Noor. And as Noor means, note to self, lemon tea cider sucks. Oh no, I think regular lemon tea is nice. And cider by itself is nice, but I guess the combination isn't the best. But, you know, thanks for the super chat. Thank you very much. Kevin Lai. Hey, what advice do you have for someone making their intro video for NIJISANJI? I think every individual is different. I made mine in like 2 nights. I did not sleep, and I went batshit insane. But that's just how I function. I don't know about you. I'm sorry, that's completely not helpful. But remember that you are trying to show your personality. So that, yeah, that's literally all the advice I have. But anyway. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not copy others. Yeah, it's difficult to stay entirely original. It's okay to get inspired, but there's no easy answer. But one thing could be play to your strengths. If it's singing, if it's comedy, showcase your strengths. And be edited in a way that, like, you want to watch it. Like, for example, I love crack videos. Like, not the drugs crack, but like the funny meme videos, the edits. So that's why my video ended up the way it did. You know, in case you guys haven't watched that, you can go check it out. But anyway. No, I don't do drugs. I only drink booze. Lol. Demonetized! Which is why I'm really grateful for the donations. Anyway, yeah, wow, what the heck? Wait, hold on, sorry, give me a second. Damn, son. So I'm trying to go to my outro, and it's just, my face is ridiculously huge there. Okay, you know what? It's fine if it's ridiculously huge. Give me a second. Wow. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I'm so glad all of you could join the stream today. Thanks to everybody who sent in their marshmallows. I hope I was able to help you even a little bit, just even a teensy bit. I'm happy if I was able to entertain you. You guys definitely made my day. Thank you for coming, thank you for commenting, and thanks to everybody who donated. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter and other social media, but I'm most active on Twitter, lol. And hashtag is hashtag Noormies and hashtag Noor underscore what was it? Noor I forgot. Hashtag Noor underscore art. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Like I said, this week is a little busy, but from next week you're gonna see a lot more of this big face of mine. So stay tuned for that, and remember, Noor is dumb, but she cares for you. Yes. And that you're valid. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you next time.